Hello students, today we are going to have a very new chapter to be discussed, that is cooperative society. Okay, now see, the industrial revolutions led to divisions in the society, divisions of the society, and the society was divided into two parts, capitalist and labor classes. Capitalists, what they did, they started exploiting the labor and the weaker section of the society for their selfish gains. Okay, for the selfish gain, what they did, they started exploiting the labor classes. Okay, and the weaker section of the society, they started the cooperative movement to protect and promote their interest against such exploitation, and each for all and all for each, that and self-help through mutual and means certain guidelines and principles was accepted. Okay, means what? Self-help through certain principles or guidelines, or you can say each for all and all for each concept was accepted. So in India, Cooperative Act was passed in the year 1912. Okay, the Indian Cooperative Act, it was passed in the year 1912. So cooperative organization is a society which has the objective for the promotion of economic interest of its member in accordance with cooperative principle. This was what the definition given by the Indian Cooperative Society Act of 1912. So a cooperative society is a form of organization wherein person associated together or person they associate together voluntarily and on equal basis for common interest. Okay, for example, consumers, they join hand to procure goods at a cheaper rate, clear, and they form what? Consumers cooperative. You have a producers cooperative. Okay, there are different societies, cooperative societies, which are there operating in the country. Now, if you talk about the features of a cooperative society is totally a voluntary organization, or you can say a voluntary association. The cooperative society is essentially a voluntary association of person. Okay, and irrespective of caste, creed, or sex. Okay, they come together with a common interest. Everyone has a common interest. They join in hand together. Okay, and they take the part. They are the participant of the cooperative society. Nobody is forced to become a member of a or to continue as a member of a cooperative society. Nobody is forced in a society. Nobody is forced. Okay, next, religious and political neutrality. Yes, the membership of a cooperative society is open to all. Open to all in the sense irrespective of caste, creed, religion, or any kind of political affiliations. Okay, new members are always welcome to join the society. New members are always given a chance to join the society. So cooperative society represents universal brotherhood. That means irrespective of caste, whether you are Hindu, Muslim, Christians, whoever you are, you can become the part of a society, cooperative society. Has a separate legal entity. In an eye of law, a cooperative society operates as a separate legal entity. You can file a case, or the society can file a case. Okay, or the society can enter into a contract, or you can enter into contract in the name of the society. Motive, yes, the cooperative society has a service motive. Service motive in the sense, uh, means no earning of profit is there. Okay, only providing the service without earning profit. The motto of a cooperative society is each for all and all for each. However, a cooperative society may earn some profit, and that profit goes to the benefit of its members only. One man, one vote. Yes, a cooperative society has a functioning of a democratic status in the sense, if your members are to be elected so to a certain post, one member has one vote to be given. Registration, yes, it is compulsory to get a cooperative society registered under the Cooperative Societies Act of 1912. The registration of a cooperative society is must. Like in partnership, there is no mandatory norms of for a partnership to get a registered from a partner registrar. No mandatory norms are there for a sole proprietorship to be get registered. No. But in the case of cooperative society, the society must get registered. Okay. State control, yes, government exercises control over the cooperative society via different rules and regulations which are formulated from time to time or which are amended from time to time. Okay, distribution of surplus, yes, as I told you that cooperative society runs with a motive of providing service to the society, each for all and all for each. No profit motive is there, but still the cooperative society earns certain amount of profit, and that profit is distributed among the members. Some profit it earns some profit through the operation, and that profit is distributed among the members. The distribution of the profit goes to the proportionate share capital of the members. That means whoever has provided whatever the capital in the society, based on that proportion he is going to have the share of the surplus. It's not called profit in a cooperative society. It's never called a profit. It is called what? Surplus. Okay, though it is a profit, but the term used in a cooperative society is what? Surplus. Okay, since it is not a business, cooperative society is not a business. It is an association. It is a voluntary association of persons who have come together with a common interest, for their own mutual benefit, where they operate on the basis of each for all and all for each. Okay, now if you have distinctions of a cooperative society with a joint stock company, the objective of a joint stock company is to earn profit. A company is formulated or a company is formed just to earn a profit. The company is formed to earn a profit. That means the motive of running a company is to earn profit, whereas the motive of running a cooperative society is not to earn profit. Yes, the minimum number of members in a company is 7 and maximum is unlimited. But in case of private company, the minimum is 20. But in a cooperative society, you need how many? 100 in a cooperative society. You need maximum number of members is 50 in a private company, as I have told you. Okay, in a joint stock company, the maximum is unlimited, but in a cooperative society, 100 members are there, and there is no maximum limit. In a public company, but in a cooperative society, the limit is fixed. 100 membership will be there. Okay. Then comes liabilities. Yes, in a joint stock company, the liabilities is limited to the share value, whereas in a cooperative society, society can opt for an unlimited liabilities also. But generally, cooperative society is also based on a principle of limited liabilities. Membership, yes, open to all. Cooperative society membership is open to all, irrespective of caste, creed, or sex. Okay, but in a case of joint stock company, whoever is able to purchase the share value can become the member of the company. Okay, and also the company has the power to decide to whom the share will be given or not. Okay, then comes management and control. Yes, joint stock company is totally managed and controlled by the board of directors, who are elected by the shareholders, whereas in a cooperative, management is totally democratic. Okay, there is no proxy system of vote. Each member has one vote to be given, and the elected person is given the charge to run the cooperative society. So these are certain points of distinction between a cooperative society and a joint stock company. Now, if you have a distinction to be made with a cooperative society and a partnership, yes, cooperative society registration is very compulsory. It's very compulsory to have the cooperative society registered from, means under the Cooperative Society Act of 1912, whereas in a partnership there is no compulsion to get the partnership form registered, though you have Partnership Act of 1932, but it is not necessary to get partnership form to be registered. Next comes cooperative society, minimum numbers is 10, maximum is unlimited. Okay, whereas in the case of partnership, minimum you require 2%, maximum is 20 in case of other business, and in case of banking business, in partnership the maximum number of person will be there is 10. Primary objective, yes, cooperative societies, the main objective of running a cooperative society is to what? Is to earn, provide service to the society, whereas in the case of partnership, the motive is to earn profit. Okay, the management by executive committee. Yes, the management of a cooperative society is in the hands of the executives committee, okay, who are elected by the members of the society via the system of one man, one vote, clear. Whereas in the case of partnership, the management is in the hands of the partners. Legal status, yes, Separate legal entity, yes, cooperative society is based on the concept of separate legal entity, whereas partnership, it has no separate legal entity. Okay, you have a Cooperative Society Act of 1912. For partnership, you have what? Indian Partnership Act of 1932. So these are certain point of discussion, distinction between a cooperative society and partnership. Now, if you talk about merits of a cooperative society, yes, easy to form. Yes, cooperative society in compared to joint stock company or in compared to any other forms of business is very easy to start. Formation of a cooperative society is very easy, though you have certain legal formalities to be fulfilled, but those legal formalities are very few and simple. That means a cooperative society has a very few legal formalities to be followed. Open membership, yes, one of the most advantageous point of a cooperative society is what? The open membership. Any person with a common interest can become a member of a cooperative society. As I told you earlier also, limited liability concept is accepted by the cooperative society, and limited liability means what? In case the cooperative society is running into the losses, those losses are going to be met by the members, not from their personal belongings, only from their share of contribution. Democratic management, one man, one vote, is also one of the major advantages of what? Cooperative society. Okay, and continuity and stability, yes, like in sole proprietor, like in partnership, the continuity, you may not know how long the partnership is going to run. You may not know how long the cooperative means sole proprietor business is going to run, but a cooperative society, it has continuity and stability. Leaving means a person in as a member dies also, it's not going to affect. If a person being a member leaves the cooperative society, that is not going to affect. Okay, men may come, men may go, but I go on forever. The cooperative society goes on forever. Internal financing, yes, every year whatever the surplus is earned by the cooperative society is there in the society itself. Okay, it is added to the share contribution. So internal system of financing is there, no need of borrowing fund from outside. Low operating cost, yes, cooperative society have very low operating cost. The operating cost in sole proprietor is high, in partnership is also very high, in a joint stock company it's very high, but in a cooperative society the operational cost is very low. Cheaper and better supplies, yes, cooperative society, they supply better quality of goods. You have producers cooperative, okay, they supply better quality of goods, standard quality of goods at a cheaper price. That means the benefit goes to the consumers, people at large, they get benefited from those cooperatives where they are members, as well as the outsiders, sometimes they also get the good quality product from the cooperative society. Okay, then comes what? State patronage, yes, cooperative society, they have state patronage, in the sense many a times it has been seen that the state government, they are providing various funds to the cooperative society. Okay, they are giving certain privileges to the cooperative society, and that becomes one of the advantageous point for a cooperative society. So these are merits of a cooperative society. No doubt demerits are always attached, demerits are always there with. If you are having head in a coin, you have tail also. If you are talking about merits, you have to talk about the demerits also. Now, the major demerits of a cooperative society is limited capital resources. Okay, that means limited resources of capital is there. That means the funds are very limited in the hands of a cooperative society. They cannot raise fund by issuing debentures, they cannot raise fund by issuing shares and all. Okay, the funds are very limited in a cooperative society. Inefficient management, many a times it has been seen that in a cooperative society, the people who are in an executive board, they are not so efficient to run the society, and that bring a huge loss to the society. Lack of motivation, yes, there are people in a society who are least bothered about the progress of the society. They think about their own benefit. There is lack of competitions. Okay, there is lack of competition, they don't want to take the risk so that the society as a whole can get the benefit. You have lack of motivations, you have non-transferability of interest. Yes, one person cannot transfer his interest. Like in a joint stock company, you can transfer the the shares can be transferred, shares can be bought and sold in the market. In a cooperative society, this is not possible. Lack of secrecy, yes, the affairs of the society is open to all. It is discussed in the meeting among the members. The records are open to the society as a whole. So lack of secrecy is there. Excessive government control, yes, cooperative society also has one of the major demerits of excessive government control. That means what? The government have excessive control. Regularly the accounts are checked, regularly audits are conducted, okay, regularly inspections are done. That means what? Government have their total control among, means, on the cooperative society. Then comes rift among the members. Many a times there is a rift among the members, and that rift creates various kinds of disputes. And members, they are often quarreling with each other. This is one of the drawback of a cooperative society. So in this section of the video, we have come across the cooperative society, its meaning, its features, its advantages and disadvantages. If you read the textbook, you will get more clarity. Till then, thank you very much. Take care.